Baltimore, Madison. That's wonderful. And I'm looking at the chats. I received a message, somebody saying, I want to come, but 4 to 5 is a really hard time. Would you be offering it at any other time? So I think next month in February, it might be a little bit later. I might have a little bit darker circles under my eyes. That happens to all of us. But how does everybody feel about a later start? It's good? Good, good, good. Define late.
I can't miss Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
Jeopardy's at 7.
Okay. All right. 6 to 7 is good. Yeah, 6 to 7. We all get off for Jeopardy. Who's the host of Jeopardy now?
Ken Jennings.
Oh, okay. Is that for good now?
They haven't said that, but
They haven't said that yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Millicent from Gil Hodges in Brooklyn. All right, we got that. How's everybody doing? I'm just checking in. What is the biggest issue everybody's dealing with these days?
You want to know how we're doing?
Yes, I do, Marlene. I do. Tell us. We're all going to hold hands and say, we can do this.
Yes. It's just struggle.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
What are you seeing?
Well, I work in a rural district, so it probably is different, but the absences, the mask wearing versus now our governor might be letting that lessen, but at this point there's a lot of COVID cases, so we try to keep up with attendance issues. You really can't. Kids did not have school when we think about it for 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Person. So kids are lower, and teachers are struggling because they don't want to accept the fact that they're lower reading skills. I work in an elementary school. So it just, no matter how many times we have been down the road, you can't worry right now about the academical end, because guess what? Social and emotional are more important, but they have a job to do, and I'm not going to get down on their cases, but it's a constant struggle to say to them, maybe this has got to take a second step. You know what I'm saying. Putting it in the afternoon, I'm done. But so that is the one thing that I'm finding. But we are doing social emotional everyday speech. I don't know if anyone's ever heard about it, but we're going in and doing it in specials. And also computer lab, where it's a crazy schedule, but the 2 social workers and myself are doing that and teaching kids how to cope with things, because some of them don't know how to cope as well as adults.
Well, I think what happened is when we were all home, the children didn't have opportunities to consistently practice social skills.
Correct.
And it's a no-brainer. And so you have a 5th grader sitting with a 3rd grade set of skills.
You got it.
Right? And you have 2nd graders who were 5, and you have kindergartners who really didn't go to preschool. And so it's a trickle-down effect. And so we are the minority in the school. I'm putting up my pinky because I'm solo. I'm the counselor. I do have a team finally, which is a blessing this year. But we have the pressure to stand up and say, hey, we're the leaders in the school for social and emotional. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. And I want to say welcome to Maria. We're just checking in. And Marlene, I really, I am grateful for your words and your reflection. And it is so good for all of us to hear that together we're fighting this fight. Yes. And I'm always grateful that we come together as elementary counselors, because our job and roles are unique. They really, really are. So I see people popping in. Hello, Catherine. Hello. And Maria is saying good afternoon. And she is in her last years of bilingual school counseling, which is fantastic. What a
I
beautiful
wish
gift.
we had one.
Ah, yeah. Hi,
Mhm.
Sheba. Welcome. Where are you from, Sheba? Are you still in school? Look at me with my mommy voice. Are you still in school?
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. But
Sounds
Catherine is
Oh,
taking
sounds
a
better
breath.
than-
Oh, and my friend, and I see another Paula's in school still. Are you having your dinner, Paula? Oh, look at us. You know,
It's probably lunch, Lisa.
yes, I know. How
Uh-oh.
many times, like, how many of you do this? Like, you start lunch at a normal time, and then it sits there, and 2 o'clock comes, and you're like, oh, my food is still there. I'm so grateful there's not flies in my building because it just sits there unopened, or just like, here's the world, and I've actually walked down the hallway with my salad bowl like this backwards, talking to kids, eating my salad because I just want to get nutrition in my body. Oh my goodness gracious. Or Felina, I look funny with a hat and scarf. Oh, are you feeling okay? Okay. All right. You do not look funny. You look adorable. I'm thinking you're doing a statement right there. You're like pulling out, like, what am I going to pull off today? You're going to pull
Oh
that.
my God, that's cute.
What I'm
Thank
feeling.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you for everybody to connect. I say hi to Orphelina. Florence, welcome. Florence, where are you coming from? Where are you? I'm looking. Sheba, where are you coming from?
677.
677. All right, we have Zane. Hello, everyone. And currently a student. And you're doing your practicum. Oh, you're starting this month. Where is Zane? Where are you starting? I'm looking. Maybe.
Hi, I'm starting this month in Mount Vernon, New York. I'm gonna be at an elementary school.
You
So
are in the
I got this link sent to me by the school counselor that I'm gonna be doing my practicum with in my internship part of it.
All right, listen, right now I'm just sending out the love because we are in this together, even though we are very alone as we walk up and down the hallways. Does anybody have a co-counselor? Anybody? You do, Orphelina does. Nice. That is wonderful. And what a great feeling. What a great feeling. And Rosemary is here. So welcome. It's a little after 5, and I do have some fun stuff planned. Just before I start rolling, did anybody bring books? We're going to share books today. Oh, some people, good. All right, awesome. I'm going to share my screen. Which one are we doing here today? Here we go. And I'm going to make this big, and I'm going to start my presentation. If I can move this down, slideshow.
Just got a shiver. I just got a little shiver.
Did you really?
No, with the
looking at
snow.
my thing. Happy winter, everyone. Now, last time I gave away the answer to my quiz, so hopefully I won't do that again today. So hello, welcome. I am Lisa Milady. I'm the Vice President Elementary for NYSSCA, the New York State School Counselors Association. And Bob Rotunda under me and my screen, I don't know where he is on yours, but he is my co-host. And at the end, we have some exciting things coming up, and I hope you are as excited as I am about National School Counselors Week. Woo! So for tonight, I would just want to talk about being in the moment for you and your child, because I am sensing a lot of stress in what I'm doing, and this is a strategy that I'm using that helps me. I have an easy lesson idea for everyone, and we're going to be sharing books. As always, we'll share this PowerPoint, and so you will be able to download some things that I'll be sharing tonight. I hope you like that. But first, we need a book winner, and so how many people have this book? I'm going to go to the big thing yet. Does anybody have Molly Lou Mellon? Does anybody know Molly Lou Mellon? Some people do, some people don't. Okay. Stand Tall Molly Lou Mellon has been around for a long time. And also, if you go to Dolly World, if ever, it's now a play in Dolly World. And I know these things because Patti LaValle, who is the author, is also a Long Islander. And through the way the world is, she and I have become friends. And it is my pleasure. She signed this book to the New York State School Counselors Association, and it will be my pleasure to give it away to someone. So, how are we going to win? And I have to get my chat going because I'm going to go down here and I'm going to the next slide. And here's the question for today. What kind of dog does Patty Lavelle own? And the first person to put it in the chat will win her book. And if nobody can guess, then I'll think of another way. And I'll give you a hint. So go ahead and put in the chat, what kind of dog? It's not a golden retriever, although they're beautiful dogs. I have a golden doodle. A Yorkie? Nope. I'll say
Frozen.
You gotta love technology.
Every now and then. So we've got, let's see, we've got Pointer, Poodle, Chihuahua, Pomeranian, Beagle, German Shepherd, Yorkie, Golden Retriever. My son has a King Charles something.
Oh yeah, I know what you.
It's a little dog.
The King Charles Cavalier, right?
That's it.
It's a great dog.
She's her name is Bailey. I think it's because she's the same color as Bailey's Irish Cream. But I'm not sure. But she was like the COVID dog last year. And they had to get that kind because apparently that kind is one of the kids is allergic to dogs. And so apparently that kind of dog does not have allergic or
Yeah.
whatever, however you say that.
My coworker has one, and oh my God, she's adorable.
Yeah. She has a series of sweaters. You know, she'll have a Ranger sweater on when there's a Rangers game on. She has a Knicks sweater, I think, when there's a Knicks game on, because all you do is watch sports. See what other guests we got. A mutt. Lisa said she's trying to log back in. I'll tell her, okay.
She's always this perky.
Kathy Haley told me a story about being perky one day.
I did?
Yeah, you
I
told
don't
me
remember.
that you were like apologizing for being perky, and you said that you and your husband were riding to school one day.
Yes.
You can tell the rest of it.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness, I think I can't. You're going to have to help me out if I say it incorrectly, but I was starting off the day really up, and he said, "You're really going to have to take a deep," I'm going to make this wrong, Bob, but something like, "You're really going to have to tone it down because nobody wants to start the day off with you like that." I was like, "What? I'm an elementary counselor. Of course they do." Is that how you remember it, Bob?
I remembered it was more like he said, not everybody is quite as perky as you are in the morning.
maybe that's an elementary counselor thing. I have no idea what happened, everybody. I
But here-
apologize. I'm
You're
going to
back.
check the chat and see if anybody guessed the dog. I only have 2 guesses.
Oh no, there's a bunch.
Oh, is there?
We got Maltese, Bulldog,
Oh,
Mutt.
who said bulldog?
Who said Shelly? Shelly said Bulldog.
All right, Shelly. Bulldog is the answer. And there is, I'm just going to move this out of the way if I can move it. There's Lucy. Lucy is Patty's bulldog, who she loves and adores. And as a matter of fact, Patty's a first grade teacher. She just retired this year. So where is Shelly? Usually what happens is I ask Bob to send me the email of the person, and I'll send you an email and I'll mail off the book. So thank you and congratulations. So you are the book winner for today. Next month, I have a book called Love is Love, and I figured that would be a great book for February. All right, here comes my, oh, Shelley, you are very welcome. Do you have the book, Shelley? Where is she? No. Woohoo! That's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. So I just want to talk a minute about something that I am doing to keep my composure during these very, very stressful days. I don't know about you, and I'm going to be very honest. Last week I had 2 students with suicidal risk assessments. I had another student disclose about sexual abuse. I have a student who has a tumorous cancer that is attached to his eye, an 80% chance he's going to lose his sight. He's 6 years old. I have a mother who talked to me about her 6-year-old who was having memories of being with her stepfather when he OD'd, and they were alone when she was 3 years old. And so I am wading daily through trauma upon trauma upon trauma. We've always dealt with trauma. That's part of what we do, but it just seems that because of the way the world shut down, that we have a lot of trauma. And my anxiety comes up because how am I going to answer things and how am I going to get to things? And one of the ways that I cope is I remind myself that in this moment, who is ever in front of me is the most important person in the world. And if I can focus in on listening and seeing, I am focused more on seeing than solution, and hearing and recording and knowing that I can say there are people around me who can help, and if I don't have the answer right now, I can move forward, and it is helping me to stay in the moment. I had a 5th grade boy bring a 5th grade girl into my room on Thursday, and she was crying, and he said, I brought her here because she's sad, and he did the right thing. I had a whole group going on. I'm like, listen, my love, sit down, draw a picture, eat your lunch, and when we have time to talk, we will get together. And it turned out that we had a long conversation, and she was one of the students who had suicidal ideations, and I was able to get help. But she waited. She was safe with me. And I waited until I could give her my full attention and see her. And we all have to take a breath and understand that we're swimming in deep waters, and be patient with yourself and be in the moment with the child. If I would have said, oh, sorry, I have a group right now, come back later, I would not have been able to have the same ending that I did. But I also put down in the corner, I hope you can see, I won't forget you. There are kids who are asking for lunch. How many kids want to have lunch with you every day? If they could have lunch with you every day, they would eat with you every day. Okay. And there's just not enough room, and and then there's kids who are, I need a notebook. I need a pencil. I need that. Oh, can I talk to you about this? We walk down the hallway, and it's always a constant triage. And we have to trust our instincts to say, I have you. I have my paper. I had a student who's going to read a book for me. And so I have you, and I'm going to get to you. And I promise. And when you get to that student, and sometimes I'll be quite honest. Sometimes if it is a book that I want to give you a book to practice to read, everybody else is going to come first, but I will not forget you. And when that moment comes, that I did not forget you, that I held on to you, and what I promised you is coming to fruition in this moment, then that is equally as important as that person in triage. So I want everybody to take a breath and understand that the moments we work are really important. And I hope this was a pep talk to help your stress level to be there, see, and be with the students. And it helps me. Now, I have an idea I wanted to share. Talking about all the trauma that's going on. During COVID, this was the best idea I have. I hope everybody can see it. Can you guys see that? This is a shoe rack that hangs on a door. And most of the time, I do a lot of games with cards. Pick a card, any card you want. You know, you sit at the round table and you sit with your kids at a table, which we couldn't do anymore. We still can't do. They're 3 feet away. And then last year the kids couldn't touch anything. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'd say to the kids, pick a number. They'd pick a number. I would read it. And so this idea of having this hang on my board, I use it almost every week in different ways. Now, if you can see in the picture, on each shoe rack, I hung what I call troubled times. And if you look, they are adverse childhood experiences. And this is one of the lessons that I go back to and go back to and go back to and go back to in different forms, because I feel our elementary kids need the connection between this is the event that occurred and this is the feeling in my body, and that's why I ran down the hall. You know, we're always going back to teach that. So this was, the kids loved this. So this one's no friends, conflict, trouble learning, illness, death, hitting, family, foster family, touching, jail, drugs and alcohol, yelling, divorce and separation, moving, no money. Down here, you can't see it, but that's my no drama llama I pull out quite often. I keep a llama in there just for fun. Anyway, I always refer back to this. And when somebody brings up the topic in conversation, I have a bulletin board even. And the kids were like, hey, these are the same as over there. I'm like, yes, it's so exciting. And the activity was, I purchased coffee stirrers. Amazon, I get everything on Amazon. And so every student had the turn to come up and I introduced all of the troubled times in which each one means, and they came up one at a time, and I held coffee stirrers. And they were able to put a coffee stirrer in whatever they connected with. I didn't put a lot of pressure on it. I said, they were like, well, what are the rules? I'm like, whatever you want to do. You want to do one, you want to do done, you want it, whatever. Or maybe you're afraid it's going to happen. And the conversations that we had were tremendous. And this was Wednesday that I took the picture and I decided to share it to you. So I also did it on Thursday and Friday. The loneliness, feeling like they had no friends, and I was taken aback by the amount of students who were connecting to death. And you can see how a lot of kids, there was kids who connected to everything. So one of the things, and I can move this because it's my thing. This sign says troubled times, and this is a prompt. I feel blank when, I need, even if blank I can. If kids were really taken back and we're not sure how to talk about it, these were my prompts that we can talk about it. So all of these circles, I mean, they're teardrops or raindrops, whatever you want to think. And my Troubled Times poster, and this is in this link. So I am hoping that it works. And when you get a copy of this, you guys can print it out and use it. That's my gift to you. And one other thing I wanted to share, and then we'll get to our book sharing. This is a worksheet I made today. Yesterday we had a fist fight. My principal and I were talking. We haven't had a fight in the building in about 10 years. And it was a combination between beef between kids, obviously, not enough staffing to cover. and just a lot of different things. And I was wounded. I was wounded. And I laid in bed last night and I thought, how am I going to go back to those classes who witnessed what happened, and where are we going to go from here? So I read a book, and this is a great book. I'm reading it. It's called The Body Keeps Score, all about trauma and what we need to do with it. And in it, it said that hope and our imagination is the greatest power we have to deal with trauma. And so I teach this idea to kids all the time. It's one of the posters that I made that hangs in my classroom. What you think, what you feel, and what you do is all connected. This is an idea that the kids have heard me teach about before. But thinking of the idea of the power of our imagination inspired me to think really big. And I went into the classes and I put down 2 words, drama and trauma. And I talked about the difference, where drama is little problems people talk about for entertainment, which doesn't help. I don't like gossiping. And then trauma is a huge event that changes how your body feels, makes you feel unsafe, and makes you afraid for something in the future. And we talked about how the trauma of the fight. We talked about how everybody felt watching it. We also talked about COVID. We also talked about the trauma we're all going through because of that. And then I put to them, what is your superpower to get through this? And when they guessed all kinds of good things, and some, kids are pretty savvy. And then I said, okay, I want to say one thing to you. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day children, Black children and white children, will be together in a school, and we will be a community where we learn together. And they're like, Martin Luther King. I'm like, yes. And when you have a dream, it is a vision. It is what you see. And I want everybody right now to talk about their vision of what will happen now. After this happened, we have many months left of school and you're in 5th grade. And I want your vision and I want your dreams. And the kids, I want to see kids get along. I want to see kids together without masks. I want to see, all the different dreams that they had. And then the teacher had the kids either draw pictures or write words. And my heart was flying high when I went back into the classroom, and she had hung all of their dreams around. And so it was a visual representation of what they see. And I reminded them, it is our thoughts and our feelings that drive our actions. And when you feel good, you will do good things. But it starts with hope and it starts with a dream. And then I had a little girl run out of gym because she can't lose. And I pulled out the paper and I said, all right, I need you to draw a picture of you doing good in gym. So I used this quite a bit today. And I shared it with the school psychologist because we like to do the same activities with kids. So I used it for a class lesson. It was a powerful piece of work for a student. So if you go down to this link, it is there for you too. I hope you guys like that. Good? Good? Hope we're all inspired. All right, share your life with others and you will have a joyful life. I love this quote because we come together to share our life as elementary school counselors. I'm just going to come here. What book do you love? And I'm going to stop sharing. I've been looking forward to this. I don't know if anybody else has been looking forward to it. I have been looking forward to it. Oh, look, I'm here twice. How'd that happen? All right, I'm going to start. Strictly no elephants. Give me like a yes or a no. Does anybody know this book? Okay, Strictly No Elephants. Okay, it is the sweetest book ever. Look at the elephant. Oh my gosh, I could just die how sweet that is. All right, here's the boy with his best friend, the elephant. And everybody has different, I love how this is a city book and everybody has different animals. There's a bulldog and a dog and a fish and a bird and a cat, and they're all going to get together to see each other. And they get there, and there is a sign that says, strictly no elephants. It is, elephants are not allowed. So then they meet someone with a skunk, and the skunk couldn't go. And as you can tell, they keep going, and there's a giraffe, a hedgehog. They're all walking through the street. A narwhal in a bowl. I love this. And they all go down to the park, and they make their own clubhouse. And in the end, it is everyone is allowed. And I love this because it has friendship, it has problem solving, but what I love, it's unity. And even when someone comes up against you, it is good-hearted people stand together. And instead of falling back against being rejected, they just embraced each other. So that was my favorite book. And I think, yeah, and Orphelina's like, yep, inclusive and accepting. It's how we all need to be. Thanks, Orphelina. All right. Who wants to share a book? And I hope you have your pens and pencils so we can write everything down. Go ahead. I see Orphelina getting her book. Go ahead.
I really like that one. I didn't get to write the name, but I would love that one.
Okay.
So I love books.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy now that I'm in elementary because I always read in a book. So I got the one that you raffle. This is one of my favorite, but I'm going to reference to this one.
You went too fast. Go back to your favorite and then come to the Invisible Boy. Okay.
This is one of my favorite. The Girl Who Never Made a Mistake. I find myself using that book all the time. You know, for the kids to have a different perspective taking.
Okay.
Not stay about understanding, but I'm going to reference to The Invisible Boy, which is just one of my favorite books. It
Trudy
ties in
Lubbock,
so many different topics. You know, tells the story of how this boy, you know, being new in the class. And you mentioned something about gossiping, you know, how kids kind of making comments about, did you see the new kid? And how the teacher actually says a good story about how the teacher, in some way, that's what happened in the classroom. When you are quiet, you don't get the same attention as the one that are always, you know, needing the support that you need. So he gets ignored. And, you know, when he is outside, he didn't get to get picked up.
Oh.
And he walks away. So I teach the kids about, you know, advocacy, advocating for themselves, like telling other people when they don't feel, you know, like being left out. And then he's at the lunchroom, and because he's, I believe, I'm going to say Asian American, Pacific Islander, one of those. I'm not quite sure. I didn't research that yet. People make comments about his food, what he eats.
Aw.
Yes, and then, you know, he's into his third drawing, but he made a friend. And throughout the friendship, you know, the story is developed. And
You know, I just want to say, what I'm seeing is he's a different color. Is it true that he's a different, he's invisible. He truly in the artwork is invisible.
yes, I'm gonna tell you about that. And I'm glad that you picked that up so quickly, because I tend to read the book without even mention the color. The artwork here is
Well, it hurt my heart. This color.
So the character ended up having color at the end. And again, you can go into different topics, into what does that mean to be isolated, not being included, being different, eating different food, having different skill because it's very artistic. And you know, at the end, he made good friends. So this is a book that actually is good for any grade level, not necessarily for the youngest one, but it's about showing resilience and not being like responding to every little things that is happening, that sometimes our kids want things so badly, but he was very persistent and very calm and able to, so you can go in different round with it. This is one of the best books that we ever had.
I love that. Is beautiful. It reminds me of Dignity for All. DASA lessons. Are you all doing DASA lessons? Because if you're talking about, you can't, people have different food and they have different, and I saw the boy with glasses, and we have different races and all of that. There's so much in that book. Thank you so much. I loved it.
Can I make a suggestion? Can you put the title of the book in the chat? Because the chat gets recorded and we're going to share it with everybody.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Thank you, Christy LeBron. I see you, and I'm happy to see you, my girl. Salt and pepper, here we are. Or no, pepper, sauce, we are. I'm putting mine in there. It's called Strictly No Elephants. And I'm hoping somebody else has a book.
Can I share one?
Oh, yes, please, Leslie.
Okay, so I just read it to my kindergartners and first graders today, and I've read it to them before, but a different group, and they loved it. They said it was a lot of fun, but it's a little unique. It's my favorite picture book because I wrote it in my 20s and my dad illustrated it, and it's called Who Am I? And it's a self-esteem lesson really for the kids about self-exploration. And, it's a little child with parents trying to look up at a tree, seeing different heads and faces who are supposed to represent their parents or their family members and cousins and aunts and uncles. And they're trying to get a sense of who they are. So I just thought I would read it really fast because it's kind of funny. My kids told me it was funny today. They were actually laughing at it. But so, yeah, my father and I write books. Well, he illustrates. I can't draw for my life and I write them. But so I don't know if you can see it. It's probably not. I'll try to show you some. But it's Who Am I? Who is this me? My parents say I come from a large family tree. I look like my mother with her big, beautiful eyes. And then I show them. When it's online, I scroll it down so they can see it. Look like my mother with her big, beautiful eyes. I look like my father, though I refuse to wear his ties. I act like my father, though I refuse to wear his ties. And then I may seem like my brother with his smile and curly hair. I may be like my sister wearing a sock from a different pair. Then there is Uncle Alex with his old worn chair, his grimacing stare. He is really quite a scare. There's Playful Pete, a pleasure to meet, though he has a tendency to tickle our feet. He's tickling the feet. There's Grandpa Phil, always so funny. Watch him drink his fill of tea and honey. It's like that out. Auntie Greta, who could forget her? Often she knits us all the same sweater. Then there was the time at Uncle Joe's. Both of us have a similar nose. But as for his toes on both of his feet, they glow as brightly as the lights on the street. There is Silly Sam, who has a pet lamb. He is often here to get us out of a jam. And Grandpa Gertrude, who is very shrewd. You can always count on her to be in a good mood. Okay. There's Cousin Camille. She has a real eel. Her pet eel will eat with us at every meal. And there's Cousin Banana Peel Neil. He'll claim that it was he who invented the wheel. And then there is my family tree, it would seem. I am told with a smile and often a gleam. Certain traits there are traits that we share. Still, we are each special and unique, different, beyond compare. They are unique and I am unique. And we can only be who we are. That's
I love that. And the kids must love that you did that. And April is Poetry Month. So anything rhyming is a good time. April is Poetry Month. So that's awesome. That is so great. Cool. Can anybody get access to that, Leslie? Is there a way that you can share that?
Yeah, I could share it. I could probably share it as like a PDF file and send it to people. Absolutely. Or I could put it on maybe on the web channel, or there's a way to do that.
If you can do that, my hat's off to you. I think maybe if you make it on your computer now and copy the link into the chat, then people will have it.
Ooh, all right.
You
let
can
me see if I
share a
can-
PDF if you do share a link. Thank you so much, Leslie. That's so sweet. And I love the illustrations, and it probably encourages kids to bring out their artistic side too. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, they do.
Ah, now, we've been having a lot of people putting books in here. Today, I feel silly. I love that book. That's by Jamie Lee Curtis. She does a great job with that. And a book about In My Heart, a book about feelings. That's one I don't know. A Chair for My Mother. Florence, did you want to talk about that? That's one of my favorites. I'm looking down at Florence.
Yeah. A Chair for My Mother,
Oh,
written by Vera Williams. I
oh
love
yes.
I love this book a lot because in fact I just had I read it to my grandson,
Mm-hmm.
and he really loved it too. It's a book about helping when there is problem in the family. The family is trying to bounce back
Mm-hmm.
because of issues or problem in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me see if I can. You can see my face and know that I'm not a robot.
Hi, Florence. There you are. Welcome.
So that I'm not a robot. I'm having another meeting soon. So, I love this book because this kid, young little girl, their house got into fire,
Mm-hmm.
and they lost almost everything that they have. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very
And
good.
yeah.
Yeah, very good. So the mother works in as a waitress in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So after school, she will go and join the mother. And then after a little while, the restaurant boss gave her a little job. Told her to be washing onions. And then, little things like that, like peppers and all. And then she started making money. She had this big jar that she puts in all the money that she made. And then when her mother comes home, her mother is so tired. There is nothing in the apartment anymore because they lost everything. And her mother couldn't find anywhere to put her feet and rest her feet.
Mm-hmm.
So she decided to save this money to buy her mother a chair.
Mm-hmm.
So she keeps saving the money. And then sometimes she would take the change from the mother's tips. Because, they give them tips when they work in the restaurant. She would take the coins and keep filling the jar until she was able to fill the jar. And she felt it's time to buy her mother a chair. So she bought her mother a chair. Their grandmother lives with them, but their grandmother doesn't do much. But the grandmother really enjoyed the way the little girl has been helping in the house. And now they had to go back home. They have to start buying little things. And they were able to bounce back despite the fire that, burnt their house down. And the neighbors also helped them in getting things together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to go, I don't want to bore you with this book. I want to just show you. Let me see if you can see. I don't know how I'm going to do this. So you can see the jar that she filled with money. That's my best favorite part of the book.
Mm-hmm.
When I read it to my students, I always...
I think you have to go up a little more, maybe. Oh, we lost you, Florence.
Oh, you lost me? I'm
There
back.
you are again. All right, hold it a little bit up.
Okay, let me hold the book. Can you see?
Yes, we can see. There's the money.
Yeah, the jar filled
Yeah.
with
Filled
money.
with the money. And
Yeah.
can you do me a personal favor? There is, in the end, the neighbors gave them curtains, and they borrow a truck from a neighbor, and they put the
Yes.
chair in the truck, and it is the entire community that comes together to help. I have chills, that help this family. And Dr. Rotunda put in a very important message, very timely, with the building fire in the Bronx. And when we talk about trauma,
Mhm.
children may be aware if they've seen it on the news. Oh God, there it is on the truck. Everybody's there. I love this.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite, like a book I like to read. I've read it several times, and I never get tired to read it to my kids. Look at how their house look now. Do you see?
Yes. And
Everybody
it's
see? Isn't that
everybody sharing.
so beautiful?
Bye, Maria. Thank you for
Give
coming.
somebody a chance to speak too, to show up a book.
Thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
I feel bad that I skimmed past the Jamie Lee Curtis book today. I feel silly, which is so great. And in my heart, does that somebody want to share those? Oh, today I feel silly. I must be a bore. It's such a good book. And Christy, open the very back of the book and show how you can do the eyes and the mouth and how you can create the different feelings. Has anybody ever seen this? Today I feel silly. So in the end of the book, go ahead.
So this one is angry.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I'm not doing a good job here, man. I need some practice. I need
But
some inspiration.
You got to come to the elementary school.
Oh my goodness. What's going on with my homegirl here? Oh, wait, I got to do it this way. Oh, I got to turn it.
Top and a bottom. So you can change the eyes and you can change the mouth. And then you have all the different feelings. It is so creative.
Yes.
Ah, one of those.
Yeah,
One
it
of
is
those.
so much
So this
fun.
is only a part of it. And I shared in my posts is, I've had a tough couple of days and I needed some inspiration to go back to basics with my students. And I always bring it back to elementary school. And I check in with my daughter. I was like, all right, let's pick a book. And one time it was like The Growing Tree. And then this is our book for this week. Like Today I Feel Silly. It's one of my daughter's favorite books, one of my favorite books. And I'm bringing it into work tomorrow so that we can figure out like, all right, something just went down on Monday. What are the moods? And sometimes students can't really articulate it, even though they're in high school. They're struggling. So it's just like, all right, let's look at the book. And, they already know me to be silly and do things like this. So it's not foreign to them when I bring in like a children's book, an elementary school book, as opposed to comparing it to like a middle school book or a high school book. It's almost like bringing it back to basics and saying like, it's okay to feel how you're feeling and let's pick these faces and let's see how we want to manage with it. So for the next 3 days, 2 days, and then on Monday, this will be my book.
And and you bring up a good point because sometimes as an elementary counselor, I'm like, okay, there's a kindergarten book and then there's a 5th grade book. And I remember a 5th grade group coming in and seeing the book on my board that I was going to do for kindergarten. They're like, can we read that? Can we read that? I'm like, guys, I was going to do that with my kindergartners. They're like, no, read that book. And we were acting it out. We were having a good time. It's such a home feeling to go back to the beauty of a picture book that's simple and it gives you such a gift. It's just so beautiful. And I have some other people. Shelly wanted to talk about mom and dad glue. I want to hear about that. And also there is In My Heart. Oh, go, Shelly.
So this book has some great illustrations and it's such a useful book around groups. So for a Changing Families group or Banana Splits type group. So it's a little boy whose parents are not together. So he needs to find a pot of parent glue and he needs to find it fast because he needs to stick them back together to make that marriage last. And it rhymes, it's cute. And so in the book, the illustrations, things are broken. So you can kind of see how things are broken. It's a beautiful book because he talks about, am I the reason why? We reflect on that during group. No, children are never the reason why. This is one of my favorite pages. It's a nice little saying. It talks about the way we were is over now. It's time for us to change. It's no one's fault. There is no blame. Really beautiful. So as he's in the glue shop, and that's before that, the glue shop owner takes him aside and talks with him and explains that this is the way life works out sometimes. This is what will be. So then in the end, he he thanks her for her kindness, and they move towards the door. So I've done a couple different activities with this at the end.
So in the end, there's no parent glue.
Exactly. There's no glue.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
yes,
I think we can all concur that children are like, oh no, I will get my parents back together.
That's right.
Like,
Exactly.
they're like, this is what I will do. You know,
exactly. Yep. So
in their
he
minds,
comes to
yeah.
the realization, yep, there is no parent glue.
Yeah.
So he says, I need to make the best of things. There is no glue for hearts. So in my office, I say, well, you know, we do have some glue for our hearts in here. And that's why we come together as a group. We can help each other to heal our hearts. And then I give them 2 hearts. They choose which colors they would like. They glue them together, and then they write the names of all of the people that they love on those hearts. That's one of my favorite activities to do with them.
So powerful.
Around
that would be perfect for February.
Yeah.
Just saying, everybody.
Yeah,
February.
it's a very useful book. I really
Get the
enjoy
book.
it.
I love that. Oh, and it really touches on so many issues.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Shelley. And in my heart, who had in my heart?
I did.
Where are you?
I did. I'm so sorry. I'm not feeling well right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm so glad you're here.
Yes, it's a great book. I absolutely love the book. It's great for elementary school. It's also a picture book. It has a cutout heart in there. Unfortunately, I don't have the book with me because I've been home on quarantine. It's in my office. So the book I like to read to, different students in the elementary school. They really gravitate towards it. They give different scenarios where your feelings come up. And so when the feelings come up for you, where are you? How are you feeling about it? Some days you feel like you're on top of the world, and some days you feel so small. But at the end of the day, you're still in someone else's heart and they're in your heart. It's really a book about love, and I like children to know that they're loved at all times. And that's my biggest thing for them.
Isn't that the foundation of everything?
Yes.
Feeling loved, feeling belonging.
Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly what it hits the core of.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Oh, and I hope you feel better. I hope everybody who's quarantining and sick is feeling better. I added just a couple more names, and then I want Bob to have a chance to talk about the fun coupon. I put in Fly Away Home by Eve Bunting. That's a story about a father and a son who live in the airport. It's beautiful. And it talks about how every day the dad gets up and how the dad goes to work, but they have no house, they have no home. And they're living in the airport. And in the airport, the boy has where he goes through the day to be safe. And there's a bird in the airport. And he is always wishing for the bird to fly away home. And it is a beautiful way for children to connect who are between homes. And I know transition is big where I am. And it is something I want every child to see themselves in a book. I wanted to show, and the other thing I just brought this one. Does anybody know Don't Laugh at Me? Okay, this also comes with a CD, not that we have CD players anymore, but if you go online, there's a YouTube video, and I read it to the kids. I'm the little boy with glasses, the one they call the geek, the little girl who smiles because she's got braces on her teeth. And it goes through homelessness, and it goes through people in wheelchairs. And the song is Don't Laugh at Me. It's beautiful. Hold on. And after Don't Laugh at Me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. And then after I read it, you can go online and listen to the songs. You can hear a pin drop that the children are connecting so beautifully to the song as this is sung. It is just one of the most powerful books I use with the kids. So that is wonderful. This was a lot of fun sharing books, and I want to thank everybody to come together today. I hope you feel energized. I hope you liked my ideas. I am looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Next month, not next week, next month. And I am hoping everybody's strength and courage as we face these days together. And I just want to give Dr. Rotunda a chance to talk about the coupon.
Okay, so today, my mute? No. So today we sent an email out regarding National School Council Week to everybody on our list. You probably got it. And it has some information regarding National School Council Week where you can get some information from NYSSCA. It's their page right here. One of the things we decided to do this year was to do a membership coupon for the week of National School Council Week. It's 50% off. So if you're not a member, you can join for half off that week. If you are a member, you can renew that week for half off, 50% off. And it's just extended for a year. So we're giving that a try because it's that time of year. It's a good thing to do. There's also a lot of other information on it regarding upcoming webinars. There's the one we're having today. There's a CHAMP camp on program principal council relationships on February 7th. There's another one on February 8th on the psychological effects of COVID trauma on children, relating a lot to what Lisa was talking about with the shoe rack, and then some other things coming up. And we've got our date set for our fall conference, 17th through 19th at the Albany Hilton. So if you've been just waiting for a moment to join, somewhere between the 7th and the 11th would be a great time to do that. That's the commercial announcement.
Yes, and tell your friends.
And tell your friends. Yeah, we have a pretty comprehensive email list, but I don't know if we got everybody. And can I end it with something silly and unrelated?
Yes, absolutely.
Silly.
Isn't that the way the world is?
I got to find it now. I got an email from my cousin with Canadians seem to have a better sense of humor in regard to what they put on TV than we do. And so he sent me the Canadian COVID test. So I'll show it to you. Wait, let me go back. Share screen, share sound. Okay. All right, so here we go. Canadian COVID test.
I wish you guys had come up with a less invasive test. The swab's too big for my nose.
Frontline workers know the COVID test is uncomfortable, and we know you want a new test. Now there is one. In China, officials have begun giving anal swabs.
You said bum swabs?
Anal swabs increase the detection rate in infected people. Traces of the virus linger longer in the anus.
Linger longer in the anus? What?
You were saying something about wanting me to use a bigger hole?
The nose. I'll take it in the nose.
Complain again. I'll use both, and I'll spit roast you.
We know you don't want a test. We don't want to give you a test either. So stop whining or we will shove it up your ass.
I'm sorry, that was inappropriate, but anyway, it was funny.
No, is that for real TV?
I don't know. It's from my cousin. It's from my cousin Tom, so it may be real, but I'm not sure.
I needed that. That was so funny.
Here's the thing. You can. Here's what I feel anyway. The laughter is the best medicine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laughter is best medicine. Okay, so it was a little off, but so what?
So I'll send you the link to it tomorrow when I send out the thanks for coming email.
That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, Bob, I loved it. He's the best co-host ever. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a great night, and I will see you in February. Stay strong. Woohoo! Thank you all.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
My pleasure.